All right. This is a redo of Fight the Funk podcast. End of the year edition because the last one didn't upload. God damn it. Let's hope this one uploads. I won't be pissed. First off, I want to say I'm excited because I get black eyed peas because that's my family's tradition. Black eyed peas symbolizing vision for the future and also symbolizes a full stomach and I get excited for it every year. So looking forward to that. I am counting down. I'll probably keep this short. Let's see. So I hope people got their goals and what their passions connected to the the vision, and from that goals, they plot some goals in place. For me, I got some education to go and get. So I'm gonna be I'm excited to be getting some education opportunities, further learning myself, and making some moves, man. I think it's great opportunities out there to make some real life-changing moves within, with the understanding of here's my resources, here's what I've already done, here's how I can build on that, here's my experiences of trial and error, and what's already working, taking inventory. So I know I've done that. Hope other people are kind of taking inventory where they're at, where they're trying to go. And I'm so happy I'm not outside today with no helicopters and airplanes. I still wish it would have saved because that was about 30 minutes of talking, and that talking is energy. Shoot. Politics, man. I think we all kind of still learning, like when we getting bamboozled and we don't even know. Because I think about them like you can't have, like you have somebody like a Mitch. It's like that's some like archaic ego. There's no way. I think about Biden's statement of he doesn't want to embarrass his colleagues, so he'll never speak out, like really go at them in a public setting. And it's like, because you're talking about these dudes with archaic egos, like egos that are just like ting, 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 ting. Like the whole thing is we can't embarrass you or embarrass. And I feel like if I'm trying to think like with Democrats, like there's that few that's really fighting for people, and that has always been fighting for people, and people are more and more aware of it now. And then GOP is the GOP, and it's all this dance of we can't let each other look too good, And I feel like that's a huge thing that's holding Bernie's work. Is like you don't want this man looking too good. at this point, people, the general consensus is, yeah, $2,000 makes sense, as it's for everything that's unfolded, everything that has already transpired, for small businesses, families, down the list, people in the food lines. Like, of course, 2,000 makes sense, but if you let Bernie bring it home, it's like now that dude, now it's like you if you're not the one with some of that pie, it's like you wanna. It's a game of leverage. So it's like if you let Bernie look shining and he delivered $2,000 when nobody thought it could be done. It's like there's people in office that are like, man, fuck that. Like, I don't care. If we let Bernie, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, whatever tie I'm wearing, like if he pulls that off, then it's gonna be some long years, because he's gonna have so much clout over everybody else, and it's like these egos, they can't take that shit. It's like it's not about the people. It still comes down to power, and money, and it's like, so our thinking is like, yeah, I don't care who the fuck came up with it or who was leading the charge. It's not about that. It's just about doing what's right for the people. But if you but it's not. That's not the thinking. Like, these people aren't affected by their decisions. We are. So if you have, if you allow Bernie to and you do the right thing, that political game, the table shifts. Like, everybody's like trying to keep their seat at the table and kind of jockey for positions and stuff the whole time. So it's like if that's also why it's so stagnant. Why our government is so stagnated, because everybody is like, I can't let you look good if that bill goes, but that is a good idea. We probably should go with that. But we go with that, then you're gonna get too much leverage, and too much say and too much sway over the people. So I can't do that. We gotta dirty you up, and rough this shit up. We gotta muck this up, man. It's too clear. And I think that's the number one thing it's like, you need people like Bernie. I feel like starting next year, there's going to be a push to go back to trying everything you can to make Bernie the kooky guy, because he's dangerous, because it's like he's too for the people. Like, there's that to me, that's such a bizarre statement that I just said, but he's too for the people. He's too much for the people. So it's like there's going to be that push to put him back in his place. And that's kind of how our government works, where it's like, whoa, we got to put him back in his place. We need him to be the kooky guy, because if people understand how important he actually is to the people, then they would give him too much power in Congress. And we can't have that. So we would rather defer and the little leverage we have with this defense bill, give that up. So then there's no way Mitch would have to be at the table and then to vote on this. And it's like, rather defer to Mitch rather than backing the man that's fighting for the actual American people. It's like, that's some shit, man. I feel like going into next year, people should take note of everybody who was pretending to be behind the $2,000 increase, and it's not over, but it's still a sense of oh shit, you guys had leverage right now, and y'all gave that up, and so everything you were saying before was just dog and pony show, and it's back to the theatrics of politics. And I feel like everyone should really learn the theatrics of politics, because it's like I fall for it too, man. I remember the Garcetti thing with the hotel. Like, we're remodeling and building a brand new homeless living quarters for the homeless, for the unhoused, and you see it and you're like, yo, fuck it, hell yeah, Garcetti, woo. And then you actually get the context of it. You slow down, you stop, you breathe, and you take a step back and you actually look at it and you're like, wait a minute, man. You're not just building a hotel and turning it into a housing unit for homeless. Like you throwing some paint on a place that's already housing the homeless, kicking homeless out and then putting homeless back in the place where they were actually in. So you're making people unhoused, and then you're putting, and then so you can say you did something, and you throw some paint on it. It's like that is to me the microcosm of how so many of our politicians are. Where it's like they've been groomed to do the sleight of hand, where it's like they'll show you what you want to see, and then I got you. I'm really not doing anything. Ha ha. It's like that's what we get. Where it's like you they're like, oh, you want the cool? We'll make this statement, and then there'll be this big thing. Biden could end debt, and has the power in his hand to end debt. And then and to free up the economy for consumers, which with the to how can I say this? So there's an article as far as the debt in how it's in the incoming administration's control to actually relieve the debt, which would be a huge benefit to the people. So it was a good feeling article, like, oh man, okay, that could do some real shit and make some real changes. So now it's like, was that just one of those things you throw in there and you throw out there? People take it and they run with it and they feel good for the day, or is it something that's going to be real and actually be implemented? And who's going to actually fight for it? And then see like what Democrats actually stand by the work to eliminate the debt cycles that most Americans are in. And then help this economy, the general public breathe in different ways to get off their feet again. All that to say, man, you can't have Bernie looking that good, dog. If he pulls that off, man, it's like that dude. I'm Bernie Sanders. I'm Bernie. It's like it's gonna be like that slow motion when he walks into Congress and shit. Like, I'm Bernie. Who's Bernie? I'm Bernie Sanders. It's like nobody wants. His colleagues don't want to see that. Like, you know how much jealousy and ego are in those Congress halls. Like it's just seething with grotesque levels of jealousy of each other, of competition, of power grabs, of power controls, and people in their ears, and money being dropped in people's pockets, and business endeavors. And it's like, so you got all these things, and then you understand why government is so stagnated and why it doesn't function properly, because it's so fucking. Is so concentrated with self-interest and corporate interest, where it's just, it gets locked up. 'Cause like people can barely move. And it's like, yeah, your bill can't pass, my bill can't pass. If you putting that out, I'm not letting you put that out. Like it's a clusterfuck. And usually it's the people that are most obsessive with things as they want it. You know, it's like the to the degree where it's like, I don't care if there's a relief. I got a like the tax bill that passed that had nothing to do with working class people, it was a corporate windfall. It's like that's the kind of disconnect where it's like how many friends of friends and people did that help, whereas like it's the people that don't need that tax break that got that tax break for doing nothing more than what they say. Warren Buffett was like, hey, we didn't do shit, but we just got a fucking boatload of more dough. We balling, dog. That's what our system is right now. And as we move forward into the new year, it's that continuation of fighting for the people who fight for you. Because if you don't, these people are obsessive. Mitch McConnell's obsessive. That corporate Democrat is obsessive, and they know this way and keep it this way. No matter how stagnant it is for everybody else, it's like this. And anybody that come and try to like, hey guys, we should probably not do this. It's well crafted to isolate, ostracize, smear them as like they've done with Bernie over the decades, is make him the kooky guy, even though the extreme dude is Mitch. So it's like it's always that play, and then like with locally with George Gascon, it's like it's gonna be a smear campaign on smear campaigns next year. You know, it's like it's one of those things where you just keep looking for the shimshammery that comes with next year. You know, like there's people that's gonna be hell bent on seeing to it that either Gascon is made to understand that he needs to toe the line, or there's going to be other options, other moves that will be made to make it look bad. You know, like if it's the changing the bail bond system, like there's going to be people that will pay bank, pour money into making sure that nothing changes with the bail bond system. And that's what you're going against Google's amount of money. Like just like that's what the regular average person who works jobs, who's unemployed or who's in and out of housing, who has kids, who's trying to see them get to school, who's trying to make investments, who has life crisis, who's trying to get insurance, or losing insurance, all these things that people find themselves in that take them away from being involved in government or understanding what's happening on a day-to-day basis. That's used against people. So it's like the crisis you have and that period that you got to work and get your father the treatment he needs. It's like that same period is the time that you losing the insurance. Premiums are getting botched, you know. So it's like our up and down life in the course of a year that pulls us out of our paying attention to government is exactly those moments and the times that are needed to work against your own best interests. So it's like, so the more you focus on the organizations that you trust, the politicians that you trust, and you fight like hell for them, because I tell you, they are working. They are like working against the grain. They are the outcasts of government. So it's like if you fought for them, it's like this is next year. You have to double down. Take your break. Take your breath. See some beautiful shit. Go on a trip when you get your vaccine, or you don't. I don't know how you feel about the vaccine, but do whatever you got to do. But understand there are people obsessed with keeping the financial money flowing, keep the financial money flow exactly how it's always been. And if your pocket, I mean, think about if you've been making a killing off bail bond system, like, are you gonna want to just sit by idle while a new incoming AD is going in and talking about disrupting your money flow? It's like, nah, man, fuck that. You're not gonna let that happen. So you're gonna take whatever, if you got a good 100,000 or if you got a good 200,000 and you're like, you know what would be a great investment if I fund helping, like, making sure my bail bond system, my money cow, doesn't get disrupted. So that's that counter punch is there's gonna be a shitload of people with a lot of fucking money who are gonna be dumping money into all kind of ways to offset any kind of change that has happened over the years. So like Black Lives Matter fought their asses off to get Jackie Lacey out, and it's like and Gascon is coming in saying this is what I'm willing to do. I've listened to the people, I've listened to these organizations, I have my own experience, and here's what I'm gonna be implementing. And then you have people hell bent on saying fuck that, this is our money cow, even though we sacrifice bodies every year to keep that money flowing, but we living it up, man. We don't experience their life when they come back home broken or are messed up because their life got taken from them early. It's like they don't feel that. So to them it's just profits. It's just profit margins for them. So that it's nothing for them to get to fund money to make sure nothing changes. So it's like people got to double down on the organizations they trust and the politicians they trust. And it's like next year the challenge is how do you stay locked in over a period of time where it's like everybody wants to go wild out. Like people want to go to the fucking strip club. People want to go to the fucking to go traveling. People want to get married because they couldn't get married this year. People want to have the baby. It's like there's so many human desires and we have such short lifetimes where it's like that's part of the challenge is how do you still enjoy your lifetime that goes by so quick, and do something impactful that will outlast you. And to me that's the challenge that I face. That's a challenge that people who see the problems, people who see the injustice, people who see systemic oppression, and people who want to change, people who see the need for universal health care, like people who see the things that we need in society. Is like you're still working with your limitations where it's like, yo, I still gotta take care of my shit though. But this needs so much attention, but my life needs so much attention too. So there's always gonna be that, how do you divvy up your time and stay locked in to what you need to be locked into? Because what happens in these offices and these behind closed doors, it will come back to bite you in the ass one way or the other. Like it will affect all of us what these people decide. So that's that challenge, man. Moving into the new year. I'm excited to learn, man. I'm excited to keep learning what and build on what I've just learned just this year, and keep seeing how people grow, keep seeing how people have changed. Like, cause this year it was like a hard, like everything you thought was not what you thought. That's what this year feels like. Whereas like, all right, I went right into that brick wall, head first, face all messed up. I got back up, and now I'm not the same person. Like I'm. It's all like there's been a shift. So there is an excitement to see how people continue to evolve. Like we're all evolving, we're all learning. Our organizations are evolving. They're like everything's organic, you know. And it's like even your adversaries, the people that you like, why the fuck can't you see what we're trying to do, man? Why are you blocking things that won't even affect you? Like I had this conversation with a friend. It was like, yo, it's people blocking social justice and justice reform. It's like it won't even affect them. What like the changes that would take place have nothing to do with them. It wouldn't like they. It's not like if that black kid stops being tortured and the innocent kids and while the dude making the bomb in Nashville gets no attention when he needs, like people need to address that shit. Those things change, like that helps all of us. That helps the whole society where policing can address actual danger, actual threats, and stop creating threats out of black people and people of color. And it's like, and if you are somebody who lives in a prevalent neighborhood or whatever, even just a regular working class dude, and you're like, well, I don't see whatever. It's like it won't affect you anyway. Like you're never gonna be the black dude who happens to be walking home at night and then have somebody like, I think this dude looks suspicious. And then this person loses life just because of that person making a phone call in their exaggerated world of it's like, that's our thing. Like we fighting for that because it affects us. And if you're not affected by it, then understand you're just not affected by it. Like to stand in the way of it is bizarre to me. I went on a different angle and tangent. Oh, transitioning. Oh, another thing to keep an eye out for next year is I'm gonna be getting critical of this incoming administration, and I know there's a lot of people that are also the same way. Where it's like I don't give a fuck. I ain't never put this like Biden or any of these people on a pedestal. They are doing a job. They are working. They shouldn't be idolized and you know, like they were like what was happening with Trump, which was very unhealthy. We shouldn't try to turn our politicians into deities. Let's stop doing that. Let's bring this shit to a healthy level. These are people that they work for us. We are their employers. Like. So when Biden takes office, if you're a hardcore left person and you get to that same level where like people were with 45 and you like that with 46, is like there's a reason why I call these, like I just say numbers, because people tend to put too much. We have that idolization part of us where we see these people on these podiums and these briefings, and we see the Hall of Justice, and it's like they're doing a job, and it's an important job. And every job should have some level of respect that comes with it. Like I show everybody, I don't give a fuck what job you work. You should be respected. Even you unemployed, I respect you. I know there's shit I won't even understand about your life. You won't understand about my life. So there's a level of respect that I carry with everybody. But the whole idolizing your public officials is how you get duped. It's how you get your clock cleaned. It's how you get served the fuck up. It's like respect your politicians, but you take them to task and you hold them accountable because you're their boss. Like they work for you, and it's like you can like somebody and still be like, I still gotta hold you accountable. Like I love Obama, but I would still hold his ass accountable. Like respect people, hold them accountable. I don't care what if you have a beer with that person doesn't mean anything about the job. If you don't want anything to do with that person, still doesn't mean anything about the job. Like look at the record, check the record. Look at the record, check the record, check the record. Look and see what these people are actually doing. Who's funding them? They're human beings. Like they're not like the authority on what's right. Like the whole issue with I feel like with just how GOP has created this, that like in the past they created that higher ground. Like they are the authority of morals, and it's like and that's been proven to be way the fuck off this year. Like they have no higher ground. They have no, their morals isn't higher than anybody else's. They're people with their own interests, their own desires, what they want, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with the general public and what the general public needs. So with this new administration coming in, like take them to task. Like you hear somebody that you thought was for Biden and now they're being critical of him. It's like, yeah, he's there to do a job. Like we're supposed to be critical. We're supposed to find like, yo, you said you were gonna do something about this debt and you ain't did shit. And it's been a month. Like what the fuck you doing? Like that's supposed to happen. Like it's not supposed to be like, well, we voted him in, so he don't talk bad about him. It's like, nah, man. Like you gotta hold these people accountable, because if you take your eyes off of them, like that's when shit happens, and shit is still gonna happen. Man, let's see. It would be. Let's shorten this up. I would love to see a slow cinematic version of just Bernie Sanders being able to walk into Congress like in a slow motion shot. Like, I'm Bernie Sanders, yeah, girl, I'm Bernie Sanders. Like that would be dope. Still, that's just in my head. I just want to see. I really want that dude to just get the props that he deserves. Without the spin, without the fucking smear campaigns, without the he's a democratic socialist. Socialism is like without that weird mania shit and the negative connotations that we attach to all these phrases, and it's all propaganda bullshit. But it's like at some point I just really would love that dude to just like a universal respect of like, dude, you worked your ass off from day one. Like to take on both parties, I don't think people understand what that entails. Like he had to fail for about maybe 10 years because both, whatever tie you wear, both the blue and the red, they was like, this dude is dangerous. This dude, we can't let him get in because he toes no lines. So it's like, so I think if people really paid attention to, like empower the people that don't toe lines, man. It's like you'll get a lot farther is the people that will be in those town halls and look at you in the eye and talk to you. And then even when they're in office, they still will come and talk to you and look at you in the eye and have a conversation with you. I mean, to a degree, some of us, ain't, some of us, but in general, like you want your politicians to be able to actually look you in the eye and have the conversation with you. You want to see their record and be like, oh yeah, you have fought for stuff that makes sense, and you have fought for people, like there's still that effort to get away from the fucking the name brand politicians that been in office. Like we're still back to that point where we still fall for the Nancy Pelosi speeches and the Schumers and if you still believe anything Mitch is about, like, and you think that man's about people, I don't know whatever. But it's career politicians is a problem, because like the job goes away from taking care of people to just the job only becomes staying in office rather than taking what are you doing while you're in office. And I think that's when the shit gets really fucked up, because like your goal isn't your goal. If your goal is just to stay in office, then your efforts on a daily is just making calls, raising money. But if your goal is actually to be as impactful as possible while you're in office, then you're meeting with people and you're seeing where the holes are with how people are living and what needs to change. So all that to say, take these people off of the pedestal, man. Like you being there, like them on that pedestal is no different from you being on that pedestal. It's like they are no better than you. Like they work for you, they represent you, but they don't dictate what the next course of action should be. They don't dictate to you what your reality is. You know your reality. You know where your needs are. You know what you can do for yourself, and you know where the government can come in and do and fill in the holes. And it's like in the community also, the community knows where their strengths are, what they already have done, what they're going to do themselves, and then where the government can fill the holes. It's like that's why you have your elected officials represent you, where it's like, all right, here's the holes in this community, here's the holes in this city, here's the holes in this state. This is what we need to address. But if it goes to like these people who the special interests, like the best case study of people fucking up the government, the Koch brothers, it's like if they have the power and they're weighing in and telling our government officials what's right and what should be done, it's like then we're all gonna be fucked up and we're gonna stay fucked up. So it's like, so moving forward, people gotta stay on these elected officials and empower the ones that won't toe the line, man. Empower the ones that make these people uncomfortable who's been in office for years. And to not fall for the dog and pony show. Like not fall for I'm saying this to myself as well, because Garcetti got me. And I'm still mad at myself for that, because I was believing that shit, that the homeless situation was being taken care of and motherfuckers was doing shit, real things. And then you drive down Skid Row and it's a fucking, the work to be done next year, or the work to continue to work towards. But the shimshammery is not going anywhere. It's the bread and butter of a groomed, seasoned politician, and they gonna keep it like that's their go-to move, man. Like, we need to get the people off our back. All right, let's just bam, we doing something. and the whole time they're not. It's just a article. What's up, Tiff? Dog, you should join. So I'm not fucking ranting into a telephone, or don't do that, or don't join, or just completely, okay, all right, yeah, cool, oh, yeah, well, yeah. I want a good month where I don't have to talk about politics. But I know it's also not that, it's not a good thing, because you gotta, all right, fuck that. I'm not gonna talk, transition. What I'm excited about is the work with mental health. Like, it's fucking, there's some dope shit coming. And I just hope we can keep the momentum going. I hope we will keep the momentum going. Check out Black Mental Health Task Force if you are about that trying to get involved with mental health, helping some people's, learning yourself. Like join us, man. We trying to help people in Black communities. Understand more about mental health, man, because we still we don't like to feel stupid. We don't like to feel embarrassed. We don't like to feel shame. So we like, man, fuck that, dog. I ain't fucking with that. It's like blah blah, and then we cry. Just break out cry. It's like, so if we can break the stigmas, man, break that shame, that ego. Just chisel away at that shit. Like, dog, I know you hurting, man. I know you hurting. I know what it felt. I've been there, man. Hey, the not get job after job after job after job. I know what you feeling, man. It's like, you got the short end of the stick, and you got a record, and you not getting hired for shit. Like, that's building up in you, man. So one thing is it's gonna be like so important to work with underserved communities, and so if anybody's looking toward getting involved with Black Mental Health Task Force, also Be Well, check us out. We're making some moves, partnered up with in some talks with NAMI Long Beach. So yeah, man, that those are things I'm excited about. Like, because at the end of the day, there's always that balance of what are you doing for yourself, what are you doing for your community, and then how are you pushing your local and federal government to make real changes, not the bullshit facades and the hotel fake homeless shelter that really was already a shelter for unhoused. It's like, back to politics, damn. But those are things I'm excited about, man, and having a chance to keep learning from people that have done so much already. It's like we, whatever fields and whatever we're getting into, like there's so many like brilliant minds that we can learn from, and they can kind of help us kind of get our feet under us, even though it's like we all have our own kind of inherent wisdom and knowledge, but it's like can be so much more complimentary when it start being a meeting of the minds and shit. Like, that's when that shit get dope. It's like, oh, what you read. It's like, that's when the shit gets dope. It's like jazz and stuff. You playing off brilliant minds, and it's like, fuck, man, cool. This and da. So that's exciting. That shit is exciting. And what? All right. I should wrap it up. Oh, no. So, it's been a hell of a year. I hope this second go round of the end of the year Fight the Funk podcast doesn't actually is able to be uploaded this time, because I ain't doing it tonight, because I'm gonna be eating black eyed peas and getting that future vision. But this has been a hell of a year, man. Everybody who found my work helpful and I found your work helpful. Like I said, we got each other through this year, man. We got each other through this year. And whoever, thank people that supported the podcast, all the other stuff I'll put out and try to how I get these resources out. So I hope it helped. People found it valuable. And this shit ain't stopping. I ain't stopping. I cannot be myself. So and I hope people find that the joy and find ways to get through the hard parts of this, as we continue to move past trying to get through this pandemic, and the vaccines coming out, and it's a process, man, because you can't be down this, like, you can't go through a whole year and not have a process to try to come out of it. So I wish people the best on this new year and working themselves back into gear and into a new kind of groove, because there is no, like, the normal that would have been, or the normal that this turned into this year. That shit has to change, because, it's like it's time to figure out what the world is now, and with who we are, and what the world is, and how we know this government to be now, is like figuring out what that means now. What is our identity? What is being, man? What is all these like acid trip questions and shit? Like we at Joshua Tree eating some mushrooms, and we like, what is life? What is what is to be is. Like, that's the kind of shit where we're at right now. Like, we all, tomorrow, we like in a Joshua Tree. Like what is? Who am I? What am I? What? We're stumbling forward, man. We're trying to figure this out. We're stumbling forward. We got some ideas now, what our passions are, who we are, what we about, what we believe in, and that's something exciting, man. Who do you believe in? Like, that's exciting. Like, to know what you can build on, and know kind of like, all right, yo, I was feeling this, and this organization's dope. This politician ain't shit. This politician is real. This dude, this woman, this person is real. Those are things to build on. Like, that's dope. Like, to know that, because before we didn't know that, man. We're just in our autopilots and shit, driving around town trying to do this thing, or going to work just back and forth in traffic for 4 hours and shit. Chasing. We're always chasing. So it's like this year forced us to stop and look at ourselves in the mirror and like, what are we doing? Like, why are we driving around all over town? Like, what are we trying to be, like, instead of just being who we are? And we've been forced to just be stuck with, all right, who the fuck am I? So I hope people have all had some kind of further understanding of who they are now, and and from there where they can go and what they can do, what their passion is. And if you in that dark place, man, it's like, because not everybody's not on the same part of the story. In their own story, some people are not on the same pages. Some people are this is their dark place. Like it's just like the fucking medieval times or something. The Dark Ages in Europe is like, them Dark Ages wasn't worldwide. Like Africa was balling, he was killing it. So it's like, so some people are in a dark place. So it's like, so your goals are going to be different, and it's not a bad. It's not, if you in a better place, then great. If you're not in a good place, then acknowledge that. It's like, but it's still a place to work from. And it's like, I remember 8 years ago, that was me, where it's like, that New Year's was shit. And my New Year's was about going to the therapist and getting help. So some people may be there, where it's like, this New Year's isn't about the trip, it's about therapy. It's about further unpacking the self-hate, or the abuse, or the triggers, or the traumas. It's like, that may be where you're at, but to start unpacking is what gets you to the next phase of living. So it's like, the sooner you work on the unpacking the muck and the dark stuff and the hard shit, the stuff nobody wants to talk about, and they're embarrassed or in shame, and the yin yang, the da da da. It's like unpacking that allows you to find the real passion, or the real the real vision. Like, you can't see the vision if you're stuck in the pain. So some people may be in that place right now, man, and I've been there, and I'll continue to use those places and those periods as teaching tools. I'm fortunate and grateful to be where I'm at now, but I know how important it is to use those moments as teaching tools for people who are on different chapters of their life. And some people may be just going through their first their first depressive episode, their first manic episode, and it's like, understanding those nothing to be scared of or be ashamed of, but the more you can talk about it and talk about it with people that understand it, the better you can understand it, and the better you know how to change your environment so you're less likely to fall into that same place. And that all comes with time and effort and trial and error, and it's a process. Process that the journey I've been through myself, fucking 8 years now. So if you're in that place, your goals are still goals, and it's just embracing where you are and allowing yourself to unpack the stuff you need to unpack so your vision can come back. And yeah, man, I am looking forward to a new year. This year has thrown everything, the kitchen sink at me, a baby, a dog, it threw a lampshade, it threw a old school 50s TV with the little clicker, threw that at me. It's like this year threw everything at all of us, and we made it to this point of the journey where it's like, all right, fuck. So all I gotta say is, I'm finna get these black eyed peas. I finished a bottle of cranberry juice, and now I'm gonna reward myself with a beer. Wiley, you all right? This dude gargling and shit. Like, my dog is gargling. What you gargling, dog? But and it's time, man, to keep it moving and keep building, keep believing in yourself, keep believing in what you're doing, in your organizations. Believe that you can make a change. This system is built on demoralizing people, making people tune out, So if you know that, then you plan for that and plan that it's a now and it's also a long haul kind of play. So be well. Check out my Fight the Funk podcast. You can check out the Fight the Funk Spotify store. I'm gonna be making some adjustments because I'm just not happy with that Shopify store. Whatever, that's a long story. But also check out the Be Well Collaborative. Check out Black Mental Health Task Force. If you want to join any of them, please let me know. Hit me up. And what a year. 2020. Time to move to 2021. Deuces.